We're in Madrid for the fourth stage of the Longines Global Champions Tour, and we stop off on European soil for the very first time. At the Club de Campo Verde Madrid, we're here in 2024. We saw a memorable showdown between local hero Eduardo Alvarez Aznar and Christian Kukuk. Christian Kukuk winning on the day. A sunny summer's afternoon filled with family, filled with sunshine, filled with smiles, and of course filled with some Jamón Ibérico as well. Fast forward a year later, Edwina Tops-Alexander leads the championship. The impressive Gilles Thomas is in second, and the Shanghai winner Scott Bresch finds himself in third on the overall ranking. But what better way than to start the 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Madrid with the man who returns as the defending champion, and might I say for the first time since I see him this year, the smile on the face of a brand new girl dad, and Christian Kukuk, who comes back to join us in the studio. Let me start there, one girl dad to another. Congratulations. How is she doing very quickly?
Thank you very much. She's doing great.
Amazing.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's really cute. I'm always excited and smiling when I come home, when I see her face. And yeah, it will be her first Global Champions Tour Grand Prix she's able to watch. So an exciting day. Amazing,
amazing. Talk to me about the time you had coming into the summer, Christian, the last couple of weeks building up to where we find ourselves now. You've been in sensational form, winning some really, really big classes. You must be feeling great.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. I was spending 4 months in America. I was very, very successful there, very happy with my horses. So we came back and they had kind of a break now, actually, a few weeks. And it's my first 5-star show back in Europe now here in Madrid. And I'm very excited for that.
Happy memories to return to Madrid. Obviously a fantastic year. In 24, what does it feel like to come back?
Of course. I mean, I said that last year. I'm always very excited to come to Madrid. It's one of the nicest shows we have, actually. The crowd is amazing. The arena is amazing. It's so beautiful. It's really, really fun and enjoyable to ride here. And for sure, the memory for last year, my win, makes it even more exciting. And yeah, we see what we can do today.
Some people might be surprised to see Checker off and Soprano in, but I imagine this is a very tactical decision from you, because I know you are a man for the future. I know you like to build. I know you like to give young horses opportunity. Talk to us about the selection between Checker and Soprano for today.
Yes, you're right. This was definitely not a short-term decision. I had more the upcoming weeks a little bit in my head. So like I said, Checker came back from America. He had a few weeks off, and this is his first show. And I decided to jump him 2 rounds on Friday for the team. And I had the feeling that was enough for him for this week, for the start. And Cepano only did yesterday the 150 class. He felt very, very good, to be honest. And I'm actually excited to see now, because it's the first 5-star Grand Prix for us together. I'm excited to see where we actually are. We are doing very, very good so far on the 150, 155 level. But you know, the Grand Prix level is still a little bit different. And it's interesting to see how we will handle it today, or how we will handle it today in the very end. And there's a few upcoming weeks until Aachen, you know, is a very important show for us, and I kind of have that in my head for Cepano. So it's interesting. It's an interesting day for me. It wasn't a short-term decision to put all the money on the table to win it, because I don't have that experience with Cepano so far, but I have all the trust in it. I'm very excited to see what he can do.
People forget about the importance of building tomorrow, and you need to do that with the young horses in big classes like that, because that will give you the horsepower for the future. You talk about a very busy summer. You're always a very busy man with so many shows, and being able to get Cepano to that level, I'm assuming is something very important that you might be happy to have a rail down as long as there's development from.
No, absolutely, you're right. I'm not expecting him to win today. You know, this is not my expectation. For sure, I always love to win, and it would be incredible if that would happen. But I wouldn't be disappointed if we have a rail down in the end. You know, but work in progress, like you said. There's few more shows. It's a long season. I have to have the future in my head, and we have to take decisions based on that sometimes. And this was a week where we had to do that.
All right, I see a bell is just gone. Course August open. Best of luck for today. It's wonderful to have you back in Madrid. Christian Kukuk, the 2024 winner here in Madrid, is back again, looking to see what he can do as he develops new, fresh horses for a very big, exciting future, especially a very big summer coming up as well. As we get ready for Madrid, the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix, let's remind you as to what took place in the previous stage as we come back from Shanghai.
Delighted to welcome you to Shanghai, ladies and gentlemen. It is a massive affair this afternoon. Welcome to leg 3 of the Longines Global Champions Tour season. And Andreas Sko will be the first to jump off this afternoon. 38 seconds on landing over the penultimate, and he then puts his legs firmly on the horse's side down to the last fence. It's a superb start. Gilles Thomas enters with Luna van Het Dennerhoff, this consummate man. Gilles Thomas now accelerates down to the final fence with a real gallop, and he sees a brilliant stride. 1.95 seconds is the advantage. He salutes his man. Oh, here we go. Sit very tight, because this man is going to come hot on this man's heels. Eduardo Varas Asnar. Legend down to the final fence is going to be right on the cusp. 1.17 seconds. Scott Brash now. Gilles Thomas was so quick here. 44.11 on the clock to beat it. And I think he's ahead. Yes, he is. 0.17 is the winning margin.
I'm absolutely delighted. It's great, first of all, to jump in front of this enthusiastic crowd here in Shanghai. Facilities are amazing. And I'm absolutely delighted with my mare, Shadora. She jumped incredible today.
A fantastic performance from Scott Brash, who continues to build on his ever-impressive Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix collection of wins, and he adds now Shanghai 2024 to that list. We find ourselves at the Club de Campo de Villa Madrid here, a sensational show jumping ground, but it is so much more than just a show jumping ground. In fact, for over the last 100 years, this multi-sport arena, this multi-sport club has given some of the best moments to television and sports fans throughout the world. We sent Rupert Bell, our commentator, out in and around the club to just give us a better look, a better understanding as to how deep the sport heritage runs at this venue.
Well, the Longines Global Champions Tour is privileged to go to some extraordinary venues all around the world. But I have to say, this week's venue, I think, is the icing on the Longines Global Champions Tour cake. The Club Campo de Villa Madrid is just an extraordinary place that not only, as we've experienced already, is playing host to some fabulous show jumping, great competition, great riders, but coupled with the show jumping venue, we also have 2 championship golf courses, which over the years, with this course founded nearly 100 years ago, have played host to some of the greats in the game. But it's not just golf. There are other sports that have seen great moments over the years. Hockey, tennis, to name but 2. This really is such a special sporting venue. Lucky for the people of Madrid. What a place to play golf. Looking back over towards the city, the Royal Palace and other great landmarks that dominate the skyline here in Madrid. It is a very special place. You are very lucky to be a member here. But it also has a wonderful clubhouse which is privileged enough to have within its walls some fabulous sporting memorabilia. Well, the first bit of sporting memorabilia that I've come across, and we are at the golf course, and what better than to see this golf bag, because Spanish golf over the years has been transformed. Remember, Seve Ballesteros just transformed not just Spanish golf, but world golf and European golf, so forever in his debt. And this golf course was part of his golfing journey. Indeed, he designed one of the courses here. But this is the golf bag of the current superstar of Spanish golf, and that is Jon Rahm. And he donated this to the club, which he has also won the Spanish Open at after his great year when winning the US Open and Tour. riding journey at this very club. He is a member here, and so it has defined his career throughout. And this trophy, I'm sure if he was contesting for it now, his fellow members would probably take a pretty dim view if he turned up on one of his 5-star horses to take them on. But he may be the Spanish #1 rider, but there's no two ways what the #1 trophy is here. It is this splendid, heavy trophy. Women's tennis legends Monica Seles won this huge trophy in 2002 here, and the year before the club here, and again looking out magnificently over this fabulous clubhouse, which really reflects here in the heart of this city, the sporting diversity of Madrid. It really is the most fabulous venue. I've just enjoyed every minute of coming up to see this clubhouse and reflecting the sporting history of this wonderful place.
Sporting diversity and sporting history, those are the two big terms back. Vicario. It will all be about show jumping, and that is where we find ourselves with a major focus today on the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix, with the best 40 riders in
There's so many people. The horse champion has been great, and the kids are loving it. So.
Are you enjoying it?
Yes.
Yes, she is. She's enjoying it. Do the kids ride yet? Have you made them ride yet?
Starting, yes, with ponies. But yeah. She's 5 years old, so it's a bit soon for her. But yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully lots of people to be inspired by here today. Enjoy your day. We'll leave you to it. Thank you very much. Keep coming with me as we come down this fantastic crowd of people. Everyone got their wonderful flags as well, ready to wave to the riders and support the home team. How are you enjoying it so far?
I'm loving it. It's so beautiful to see the animals here and everything. I love the horses.
And how often do you come to this show?
It's my first time in Spain, but I was once in Mexico, so I love it. I really love it.
And is this the reason you've come to Spain, is for the show?
No, I just moved here, but I listened it was gonna happen, so then I was so excited. I brought all my friends to come here.
That's fantastic. And is there anyone in particular you're looking forward to seeing today?
Yeah, to Federico Fernandez. That was the one that won second place last race. So I loved it.
Listen, enjoy your day. I'll let you carry on. You've got a picnic going on down there. Lovely to speak to you. As you can see, the crowds just keep going. Everyone gets so excited about this. And what I will say as well, this crowd has been here all day waiting in anticipation for the competition to come. You just can't beat it here.
Thank you very much, Rosie. And you will notice throughout the looks of the stadium, when we show you these bird's eye views, when we show you with the different cameras just how far and how wide this crowd begins to build here on the grass banks in particular, as we get closer and closer to the start time of the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. About that start list, let's talk about who we should be keeping an eye on, because out of the 40 best of the week, who is really standing out and who is rather eye-catching this afternoon? Let's take a look at the Hall of Fame in Madrid as we talk and reflect on the winners of the past here. We saw from Christian Kukuk a little bit earlier on. We know he was the champion in 2024. Edwina Tops-Alexander, you remember that? That was a rather strange Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix win. There was no jump off. Edwina winning it in round one. Sanne Thijssen back in 2022. She was a real youngster back then, dating all the way back to 2013. As you can see, wins there for Michael van der Vleuten, for Marcus Eining as well, and for Ben Meyer back in 2018 as well. The big question mark there is the 2025 gap that has been left open. Who then today fills that Hall of Fame category? Who today fills that Hall of Fame block and will find themselves then alongside those champions, alongside those winners of Spain's biggest Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. Let's go back to Rosie Turner now. Let's talk about which riders need to be having a little more attention. Rosie, who's standing out? We have the best in the world all present here. Who for you is looking really good? Who should the fans be?
Yeah, Mark, as you said, we've got the best in the world here, which is very, very exciting. But we've got some fantastic horses coming through as well. We only need to look actually slightly lower to the bottom of the start list with Abdel Said and Bon Ami, who won the brilliant Grand Prix in Doha. But also Emmanuel Camili, who won the Grand Prix in Mexico with Chaco's Girl Star, bringing that forward again into this arena today. I do want to talk, though, about Gilles Thomas and Hermitage as well, who we always talk about. But this horse had its first run ever here in the LGCT Grand Prix this time last year and is back again, so hopefully who's been in brilliant form all weekend. She's been fantastic, but also Katarina Romberg. She just can't go anything.
All right, Rosie Turner, thank you very much. We'll be coming back to you hopefully to get a little more reaction in a few moments' time, but giving us an idea as to who to keep an eye out for. And let's not forget the start of the start list, just FYI. World number 1 and world number 2 inside the first 3 riders to come out the gate today. So you talk about the best of the best. That follows by Christian Ullmann, of course, Fernando Martinez Sommer and Manuel Fernandez Saro, both coming out as well. Mexican sensation. It is a wonderful lineup here in just how good this amazing arena looks. Rosie standing by with us with some reaction, what they have to say. Let's go.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I'm here by the water fence, number 5 on the course. It comes pretty early on in the course, but let's just have a little closer look at it. If we come this way to have a look at the front of this water fence, because it's pretty imposing. Yes, it doesn't have the height that we're normally seeing, but this is testing another skill for these horses. This is testing how far they can jump. Effectively, we've gone from high jump to long jump, if you're thinking in athletic terms. So it doesn't seem that big a fence, but they have to clear this water. Any splashing and that will be 4 faults on the board. Now it looks pretty shimmering, it looks pretty scary, but these horses know how to jump this pretty well. They're all professional. And to talk to us about this a little bit more, Abdel Said, you bring in Bon Ami today, who I'm sure has seen many an open water fence. But just tell us, how difficult is this? Because you're suddenly going from height to width.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different jump. You don't see it as often anymore, so it's a little bit impressive, especially on grass early on in the season. You know, the horses have come, either from other shows or indoors, so this is quite impressive. I think you need to have a good rhythm to it and support them that they jump easy across. You also don't want them to make a big effort early on in the course because there's a lot of big jumps to go. So I would say I'd use the rhythm a little bit to make it an easy jump.
Let's just have a look at the width of this if we can. If we just spin round and have a look at just how wide this is, because actually when a horse is in canter, this is probably only just wider than their natural stride.
Yeah, and again, I think if they're relaxed about it, it's not a very difficult jump. Okay, if they're too relaxed, they jump in it, that's also not good, but I mean, in general...
It's hot, they might want to swim.
Yeah, exactly, hopefully not. But I think if they get a little, it's impressive, you know, the scenario is impressive, and I think that's what catches the horses.
Well, what's more impressive? Let's just come and have a look at this fence, because once you've landed off this, I guess for you, the way you're going to jump this is you've got to open the horses out a bit more speed.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. And then it's a short 6 to a big, very careful jump, a little bit funny rails, so it's a hard jump, and then a short 5 direction, the in-gate. So the next 2 jumps are very careful all of a sudden. So you open the horse up and you have to close them again. And obviously it depends how good your training is at home, if they can, slow down if you ask them to.
Let's walk this then. Let's walk this line, because actually it's not only a tricky line, but it's also on a curve. So if you can count and talk at the same time, let us know.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, Abdel can't do that. A lot of these riders are counting properly. Every 4th of our strides is 1 stride of a horse's stride. And as we get here, as you can see, it's very upright, it's very flimsy as well. And if you haven't balanced your horse, that's coming down.
Exactly. I mean, it's a very tall vertical. I think it's at least 160 high. And you have to really, for me, I have to use the curve to create more room for my horse and give her a chance to breathe and balance her up again to this.
Because Bon Ami is quite a big striding horse as well. In a big arena like this, we'll just move out the way of people trying to walk this course. Very big striding horse as well. How much more are you having to balance? Because what people don't see is this is also on a bit of a downhill.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the nice thing about her is she really judges the top rails with me. She wants to jump clear as well, so she balances a bit more. She really helps me out. She's very adjustable. I really can open her up and close her. It's not like she just gets bigger and bigger, but it's a ring that she likes. I can really use her step rather than always power in the body.
Let's have a look at this last line then from this. This is number 6 to number 7, and you've gone from an upright, and just explain how you're going to then rebalance into the next.
Well, okay, again, it all depends on how far she jumps in this line, but as a rider, you want to collect early so you can build some energy again and not get dragged underneath that oxer. Again, optically, it's a hard oxer with the in-gate just behind, direction home, very square, so you want to be in balance and not too deep. So you have to land, reorganize, and rebuild, and it's still a wide oxer, so you need some energy.
Let's walk this then. Let's walk this this line down here, because as Abdel said, I think this is actually a 5 strides in between the 2 of them, in between 6 and 7. It depends how the horse lands as to the quick thinking of these riders and what they do. But the in-gate is definitely difficult. And I think what's really struck me about these lines 5, 6 and 7 is it feels like you've done a huge amount very early on in this course.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it walks like a nice 5, but I think it'll really depend from horse to horse how they jump that vertical and how they go direction home. But I think it's important to keep the horses in balance here.
Lastly, Abdel, you're going pretty late in this class today. Is there anyone in particular you might be watching to suss out how they'll be doing it, or do you stick to your own plan?
To be honest with Bonnie, I'll stick to my own plan. I definitely will watch a few to understand a little bit if something I counted wrong or something rides different than what we walked. But with her, I usually stick to my own plan.
Amazing. Abdel, we'll let you go. Good luck. Thank you very much for talking us through those lines. Mark, it's definitely going to be tricky today. We don't see an open water fence very often. It's really going to test the horse's ability and athleticism as well to be able to open up and then come back to their riders. It's all going to be in the partnership.
And that famous open water jump, the only time we see it throughout the entire season here in Madrid. It is, without a shadow of a doubt, going to be a major talking point throughout the rest of the afternoon, and excellently described and executed by the 2025 and 2024, in fact, LGCT Doha winner, Abdel Said. Keep an eye on him and Bonnie, a big horse on a big grass ring, very well suited. And I wonder if we're going to see a really strong finish and perhaps even a second LGCT Grand Prix win of the season for Abdel Said later today. Every time you come to Madrid, the focus and the attention and the love of all these people here in Madrid falls on the shoulders of Eduardo Alvarez Asnar, and arguably some might say even more so on the shoulders of his incredible horse Rockefeller. Last year it was 19 years old, came into the jump off, and unfortunately that close to finally winning the LGCT Grand Prix of Madrid, had a run out and lost to Christian Kukuk. This year there will be no Eduardo Alvarez Asnar in the Grand Prix, but it still becomes a very famous day, because today is the day that finally Rockefeller goes into retirement after 20 years of incredible service and of incredible performances. We took some time to meet up with Eduardo Alvarez Asnar this week to get a closer understanding of this remarkable partnership.
First time I saw Rocky, it was in France. The horse was 7-year-old. First time I tried him. 6 months later, when the horse was 8, then they offered me the horse again. The beginning was not as good as expected. I had few shows that the results were not working out. The match was not going on. After 2 months, I think the horse and me, we started to understand the way each other. He has been jumping in all the main shows around the world, championships, and here he is after so many years. With 20 now, still at the top level. It's a horse that can change, no? Your life as a rider. I can only say thank you, and I appreciate all the competitions we had along together. And today it's gonna be the last time in the show. But okay, he's gonna stay at home, and then I'm gonna still ride him a little bit, and I'm gonna see him every day chilling in the field. So it's not goodbye, it's just stop from competition that I think he deserves. Yeah, I have always very good memories from Madrid, especially with him. He had always very good results here. It's a ring that he really likes. That's why I decided it had to be in this show, the place to say that it was the last time in the ring. Well, I wanted to be in the top sport like he is now. I think it's the right time, the right moment, and in the right place. That was the most important, that it should be in Madrid. Yeah, after 10 years, many things happen, no? Ups and downs, but it's a horse that has taught me how to fight and keep going. And I think it's gonna pass few years till I can get a horse that I can get the same connection, no? It's not so easy to find a horse that you can connect so much. He's a special horse, he's been so long now, and I think it's what is very important that we are all very well connected, not only with me, with all the family and the staff at home. It's like a pet at home, but then, okay, in the ring he still has his power and everything, even if he's 20-year-old. The moment in Rabat, I think it was very special, and the horse deserved a big win.
Don't tell me he's going to do it. Oh, he drifts in the line. Get over, Rocky, get over, and he's over. It's another clear. Just give him a title, give him a statue, I don't care, but give him something. What a horse, Rockefeller de Pléville, Bois-Margaux. This is insane.
It was a long time fighting for that, and finally it came. Okay, it was at the last time of the year, the last golden ticket for the Super Grand Prix, and at the end we took it. Still last year, as 19, he was his best sport season. Every time he goes in the ring, he's like a gladiator. No, he really wants to do it, and he knows his job. He jumps just a millimeter over the poles, and okay, sometimes the feeling is always fantastic, but to watch it can be a bit risky for the public. But the feeling on top, it's always amazing with him. For sure, it's going to be an emotional moment today. Last time going to the warm-up, last time going into the ring. I hope we can try and he can demonstrate the big heart he has. Well, now slowly putting down a little bit the work, still riding and hacking and going to the woods, and then have a pleasant life in the field. Many things that I would like to tell him. I think this afternoon it's going to be the time after the class. We will reserve it for us two.
One of the most deserved send-offs that you will ever see in the world of show jumping. So much so, in fact, that just over my shoulder, let me move this way so it'll be better for the camera. Just over my shoulder, in fact, you see a guard of honor. And in fact, right there, coming through the in-gate, as you hear the applause of the people around the Club de Campo Verde Madrid here in Spain, is a guard of honor for the sensational 20-year-old Rockefeller, alongside his long-term partner, Eduardo Alvarez Asna, who for one final time comes out here into this ring. who earns the most justified and well-deserved break from international competition. What a pairing this has been over the years, and what a moment this is for Aznar and for Rockefeller. The entire arena on their feet, celebrating and applauding as Eduardo Alvarez Aznar takes a moment. Let's go on and enjoy this for just a few moments. The farewell and the retirement party of Rockefeller.
Ha sido quizás el caballo más importante que hasta ahora ha tenido.
And he's on Rockefeller de Pléville, Bois Margot, the superstar.
Es el caballo que me ha cambiado, ¿no? Como jinete, el que me ha dado toda la experiencia a primer nivel.
I can't remember how many clear rounds he did for the team. Yeah, Rocky is a very special horse.
Es un luchador, es un guerrero y cada vez que entraba en la pista pues intentaba dar el máximo.
Competing colleagues, very dangerous combination, always ready to have a clear round.
He's unbelievable to watch because he's so quick.
The moment when he goes to the arena, he just grows. He knows for what he goes there.
He has a fantastic heart and he wants to do his best.
He gives everything when he jumps.
He's aiming for the clear on Rockefeller de Pléville, Bois Margot.
In the ring, Rocky had the biggest heart, like a lion.
He has such a big heart.
Una carrera espectacular, una consistencia asombrosa.
Al final, la técnica que tiene, todo es de genio.
If I describe Rocky in one word, I would say genius.
Not many horses can do that like what he did.
We can also remember him jumping very easily over the fences.
This for the biggest prize.
Unbelievable.
Leyenda.
Strong in the body, strong in the mind, and strong in the heart.
Come on, Edu. This time it could work. This time it could work.
Es un caballo que hay que retirarle con este honor, porque ha sido un caballo que a nivel deportivo ha dado todo.
It is Rockefeller de Pléville, Bois Margot with Eduardo Alvarez Aznar.
Su fuerza y su elegancia.
It's an incredible horse.
Rabat, no sé, 19 años, ese gran premio, cómo lo ganó.
Come on, Rocky. Take it home, Rocky. Edu Aznar and Rockefeller de Pléville. Much faster.
Also a victory we will never forget.
A long-time career like that is an achievement they can be both very, very proud of.
One of the most exceptional horses in our stable.
He's unbelievable, still winning Grand Prix in 19.
Sin duda alguna, uno de los grandes casos del deporte y espero que tenga un buen retiro.
We will miss you, Rocky.
This is the most difficult part. Don't tell me he's going to do it again. Is he going to jump 4 Grand Prix clear in a row? There comes Aznar, Rockefeller de Pléville, Bois Margot.
Con mucha pena, ¿no? Por un lado, porque despedirte de un caballo así es muy difícil. Pero bueno, por otro lado, qué mejor momento que despedirlo ahora estando en plena forma y en buena actitud para poder saltar. Muchas gracias, Rocky.
Rosie Turner, you are in the ring, you are watching this live. Give us some thoughts of how the crowd are reacting to Aznar and to Rocky.
It's really, really special, and I think in particular just watching Rocky, he clearly knows that this is all for him because he's standing so quietly and so beautifully, and just like as Edu said, like the gladiator he is. And if we just have a look and turn the camera around at this moment as his saddle has been taken off for the last time in competition and his rug is being put on, and that is a sign that a horse has been retired when the saddle gets taken off, and particularly in front of this home crowd for Edu. I know he always wanted to retire Rocky in front of a home crowd in Madrid, where he started his LGCT career 10 years ago this show, and it's only poignant that he must end it here as well. If you just look at the seas of crowd that are here, we're very lucky to be in the arena watching this live, but the seas of crowds that have come out to see him just show how special this horse is. And as Edu said to me yesterday, this horse has given him so much, and the same for the horse. Edu's given him a lot, and that partnership, you just can't beat it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime horse. It will be very difficult to replicate. But what's so lovely for me right now is watching how Rocky is standing there so quietly, knowing that this is all for him, Mark.
And Rosie, you made such a good point about some of those comments that were made by Eduardo Alvarez Asnar. I remember the words of gladiator, and now hearing legend and genius being thrown out. Remind us of some of the other things that Asnar may have said behind the scenes, off the camera, when we were making sure that we got some of these beautiful images of Rocky over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we just turn now and have a look at him while Edu takes a picture with all his family, his children, just having that last moment, that last picture with them all there together, something that I know they'll remember forever. I know Edu's kids love this horse more than anything else probably, and every morning they go down to the stable and feed Rocky a carrot first thing. And I was lucky enough to go down to the stables this week and meet Rocky in person, and the kids are there every minute of every day making sure that Rocky is looked after and being given carrots and giving everything he wants. And I think, like I said, you can really see Rocky just playing with the kids there. He knows that they're part of the family, and we also know that Edu as well said to us that as much as Rocky is retiring from professional top level, he will still be ridden at home. He'll be ridden in the woods, he'll be taking out hacking, and the kids, I'm sure, will probably get a ride on him as well, but he'll be very much enjoying the field and enjoying that time that he so much deserves, because he's given so much to the sport, not just to Edu, but to all of us, to all of these fans that are stood here watching right now. This horse has given so much to everyone and really put the sport on the map, and it's this love for the horse that is really appreciated. And as you said, Mark, with that guard of honour, with all of the riders here cheering him on as well, you can't beat that, and it just proves what this horse means to everyone, not just Eduardo Asnar.
Absolutely, Rosie. Let's take a break and just appreciate this moment, please. For one final time in the illustrious career of this pairing, of this combination of Eduardo Alvarez Asnar and Rockefeller, they say goodbye to the live crowd, they say goodbye to international competition. And what a moment this has been for Asnar, building up to this point. He's been talking about this for some time now. In fact, even last year in 2024, when Rocky was 19 years of age, there were talks about how and when a moment like this might happen. Eduardo Alvarez Asnar felt like there was still more in the tank for Rockefeller, who continued to jump another 12 months of action. But now, fast forward one more year, fast forward to Madrid 2025, that Asnar was adamant needed to be the location. This ground is so special to Asnar that, according to him, there could be a retirement nowhere else in the world than here on Madrid soil. And finally, as Rosie pointed out, the saddle is removed, the gown is placed on, and Rocky will now be given time to go and enjoy his family, go on and enjoy those kids of Asnar, who quite clearly and has literally described Rocky as a pet for the family. He is not just a show jumping horse, he is a pet and a member of the Asnar family. And now he will be given the opportunity to run in the fields and to be with his family. For your years of service, for all of those podium finishes, for all of those wonderful memories, we here from Madrid say to Rockefeller and to Eduardo Alvarez Asnar, thank you for the incredible years of service. And on that wonderful note, ladies and gentlemen, we now get ready for the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Madrid. I remind you that we are off to a fire start with the world #1 coming out first. Kevin Stout, Henrik von Ackermann following as well. That is a former world #1, now world #2. Speaking of which, on screen right there, the youngster Roy van Beek made a bit of a splash in the Global Champions League. He comes out quite early on today. Christian Ellman, FMS and Fernando Martinez Soma, Michael Pender, Andreas Skau, Dennis Lynch, Carlos Carrera, Hans-Dieter Dreyer. The horse list and the rider list goes on and on and on. We are in for a powerhouse Grand Prix here in Madrid. And of course, Jan Tops, always in the ring, always measuring those strides. Abdel Said, 2025 winner in Doha. The team powered by Iron Dames, look out for them. Catherine Ackermann, winner of the Copa del Rey yesterday, looking to try and make a big splash here today as well. Christian Kukuk, a multi-time LGCT Grand Prix winner. He'll be eyeing out that big water jump as well, trying to make sure that he measures that perfectly, and he will be hoping that Durkan Hirozed is able to get over the line. Johan Sebastian Gulliksen there in front of Gilles Thomas, if I'm not mistaken. Jean Sadran, Simon de Lestre. All in the ring, all keeping an eye on what needs to happen here today as we get ready for the start of the event. Ladies and gentlemen, the start of the 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Madrid is next.
Welcome to the Spanish capital, Madrid. It is leg 4 of the Longines Global Champions Tour, and we are about to get ready for the Grand Prix in this fabulous venue here in the heart of Madrid. So much history, not only here, but of course in the Spanish capital. And the scene is set for what should be an enthralling competition with the 40 riders primed and ready to go in this fabulous arena here in the heart of the Spanish capital. A glorious afternoon it is too. Temperatures quite high, so it's going to be a stamina sapping test that has been presented to the riders here this afternoon in front of, as always, an expectant and large crowd at the Campo de Villa de Madrid, one of the great historic sporting venues in this Spanish capital, not only hosting, as it has done this week, to great show jumping, it also boasts 2 championship golf courses and has been the scene of great hockey, great tennis over the years when it was founded back in 1931. But our focus is very definitely on the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix now. The climax of the week's competition. Earlier we had the Global Champions League on Friday. Now it's the turn of the Grand Prix. And looking at some of the previous winners of this Longines Grand Prix here, we've Christian Kukuk, who's back to defend his title, admittedly on a different horse, but there are many other former winners here in the lineup as well, including Michael van der Vleuten, who will be hoping to get another podium finish here in Madrid. But as I say, the crowd getting ready. Santiago Varela is the man responsible for designing the course. He knows this venue intimately, but of course the Longines Global Champions Tour goes all around the world, and I have to say, of great venues, but this feels a real privilege to be here to enjoy an afternoon of fabulous sport. So these are the overall standings so far in the Longines Global Champions Tour after 3 rounds. This is leg 4 of 15, but Edwina Tops-Alexander not here this week, but is atop. But the man Gilles Thomas in second is very definitely here. He's having a fabulous year, and he will be hoping that he can improve and maybe go to the top of the standings. Simon de Lestre is also in the lineup, and Emmanuel Camili, with a win to his belt in Doha, is back to try and win his second Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. So they all will be looking to move up the leaderboard. It's the best 8 scores that count over the year, so it's not until after London that there will be the odd drop score, and the leaderboard may change significantly. But right now it is Edwina Tops-Alexander who tops the lot. But what about the course that has been designed? And it is long, it is big, in this fabulous arena, which on TV looks flat, but I can assure you it has little burrows, little mounds, and it's on a slope. It's quirky, and it starts right with a very difficult first fence, and it's a sweeping round to the second. the on-our fence, which is a big spread early on. Santiago Varela saying wanting to just get horses into a bit of a rhythm through the first 3 fences, coming to the wall there, which is at 160, maximum height there. Then they sweep round to another big fence with a spread of 165. Then they'll be jumping the water, so they can gallop on into that. Then after that, they'll be looking to apply the brakes to a big upright at 160. And this is where we might see some problems coming into that 7th if you've just got a little bit out of momentum. You then loop back near the in-out gate to a large double, 160, both those 2 uprights in that double, and with the 1 stride. Then not too far to go to the next fence, so we've got to keep the momentum going to the Liverpool after jumping the double, which comes up pretty quickly. There'll be a question of how many strides they'll be looking to take up to that Liverpool fence, which is fence 9. Moving to the side of the arena, one big spread here, 170, the biggest spread of the lot, 155. So again, a big question to be asked. Then an upright, a little skinny at 160, then a sweeping turn round. Now this will be where maybe a stamina might be coming to test, and horses might just be feeling the heat here. This combination, which starts with a fence at 153 with a spread of 160. The middle part is the big upright of 158. So you've got to kick on here, and then it's a 1 stride to the final part of this combination. 152 is the height with a 150 spread. Then moving on to fence 13, another upright, again, which will require momentum. We're coming to the end of the round, 14 obstacles, 17 efforts, and again, it's what the stride pattern that will be required into that final fence. Talking to some of the riders and the course designer, all basically saying this could be there is our course designer who's been working here for 40 years. He was telling me he knows this place better than his wife because he's only been married 37 years. So he knows every little bump and borrow on this course, and I'm sure he has provided something that is going to test the very best. And we start with the very best. Looking at that start list, the world #1, Kent Farrington, riding Greer, who's been in such outstanding form this year. And also in amongst the early starters, Henrik von Eckermann and Christian Kukuk. And bearing in mind, they just scraped in following the qualifying, because the top 40 from the competition in the second round of the Global Champions League, including the team riders and individuals, try and book their place in the lineup. Some of the names also there that could be going well. Great to see Christian Kukuk here. He's got a young horse hoping to further his riding education. Looking down the list, tell you what, now we look at Gilles Thomas, what form he's been in with Hermitage Cologne. They must be one of the favourites. Abdel Said with that win in Doha, he'll be coming in with increased confidence. So will Emmanuel Camili in Chaco's Girl Star, and maybe Simon Deleste, who won the class on Friday, is a man who will be expected to go well, and has certainly shown that this is a horse who's been jumping well at this height. So we're set fair. The crowd is abuzz. It's a real family affair. People with all children, dogs, you name it, everyone coming to enjoy this terrific competition. And there is the man signifying with the armband that he is the Longines world rank #1. And it is Kent Farrington riding Greer. And this horse in 25 has been so dominant in Grand Prix over in the States, but now coming to Europe and to show the European crowds just how good this 11-year-old Grey is. And what a good man to have to start, because I'm sure many of his fellow competitors will be taking an eager eye on proceedings and wondering what could happen. So we're getting ready now just to see how he gets on. So much to contemplate for Kent Farrington. Hasn't actually been a great week for him so far, but you never know. As I say, just scraping in, and actually had to rely on a withdrawal to get in to show that, as I say, it wasn't the best start to the week. But if any horse can rediscover her form, it is Greer. First fence is an upright at 155, right up against the side of the arena, which has a hedge keeping the spectators a little further away. And so the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in Madrid begins. The time allowed is 79 seconds. And sweeping round to this second fence, which is with a spread of 160. Then the wall at 160 as well, pops that nicely. Then another big spread there, 165. Now he's galloping to the water, stands off that and leaps well past that. Then checking into that, takes that very well. It's a good start to the round from Kent Farrington. And moving around now to this combination. Big middle part, does that well. Rather to the double, I should say, takes that nicely. Coming down the side of the arena. Relatively short run to that big upright at 160. Now it's a turn round to the combination. The middle part stands at 158. And Greer, she's making it look very easy, appreciated by this big crowd. They're very knowledgeable. And coming to the end, and how easy did Greer make that look? She's a Grand Prix machine, and she has set the marker, and also effortlessly within the time. What a great start for Kent.
What a start. The new world #1 Kent Farrington with a clear immediately, and one rider into the jump off from the very get-go. All of a sudden that opens up the table beautifully. Kevin Stout, the next man in, and then after that the former world #1 and now world #2 Henrik von Ackermann, and Minuteman is next in the ring. If you want to see the action, you want to join us here in Madrid, make sure you sign up for a GCTV live pass and come check out the rest of the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Madrid.